nchi kama iondolewe kabisa.
Right, and perhaps what would you say or tell the government right now?
Yaje ni kubaya. Walikuwa
protests from earlier. We saw Kericho there on your screen. We saw Nyahururu, Migori, Homa Bay, Samburu. And with me in the studio, we'll just be talking under those pictures. We have Ken Echesa, an advocate of the High Court, Edward Rioba, Bunge la Wazalendo, and we have John Kinuthia, a leadership and a security strategist. And there's a question I was asking you behind the scenes. Has this ever been witnessed before? start with you, Wakili Echesa.
This is unprecedented in several ways. One, it is the kind of protest that is hidden. There is no politician or political leader that shows up. Previously, you could engage in negotiations with the leader of the demonstrations. Secondly, this is a kind of demonstration that is daring. Even in the Sabasaba era, the demonstrators never dared to reach Parliament. They never attempted to go to State House like it has happened in Mombasa today. Demonstrations have gone to State House. Therefore, it is a wake-up call for Kenyans.
Nguvu wangekuwa bado wako bungeni, lakini kwa sababu hawako bungeni, wametoka wameonyesha wazi kwamba hawa ni wananchi wenye nguvu. Sasa mimi kitu nataka nimwambie rais, kama anatusikiliza na anatuangalia au kuna wandani wake wanaangalia, wakumbuke mwaka 1990 kuna rais alikuwa Rumania, alikuwa anaitwa Nicolae Ceausescu. Walianza hivi, akasubiria maadui wakawa wengi, mwisho wa siku walimtoa Ikulu. Sasa hawa watu asiwasubirie wawe wengi, ina maana wanaweza wasiondoke mjini leo wakaendelea mpaka kesho wakaendelea kuwepo, itakuwa ni kwa rais kuna shida.
Nataka kuna mmoja ananiambia sielewi, lakini naelewa vizuri sana. Lakini wacha tumsikize Seth Olale. Seth Olale is in Parliament Precinct. Seth, when we spoke earlier, you were in the basement. I see you no longer are. What is the situation now?
what caused this fire, but we've seen part of the protest once the protesters breached Parliament, made their way, going down into this section where the City Hall, which was formerly the office of the Governor of Nairobi, presumably had been breached. We've just seen a protester there walking out with a furniture from the county office. Quite a chaotic day, quite a day of destruction. We've seen these pictures that obviously tell us something about the state of affairs, the state of Kenya's democracy, the state of Kenya's governance. These pictures right on your screen now show us where we are. It all started with rejecting the Finance Bill 2024, and as one has correctly put in context, that should not have been a death sentence, shouldn't have been a question of destruction of Parliament or the County Hall office. That will have to be taken to stock. Absolutely clear that something is broken, something has shifted, and something has changed in the Kenyan political sphere.
That's right. And the people have clearly spoken through their actions, James. Now we await to hear from the executive, which perhaps we will later this evening, but I am told now that we can listen in to Helen Aura, who is at the Kenyatta National Hospital. Helen will update us on what's happening.
So many people who are being brought in here, most of them have been injured, especially in regard to bullet wounds. Some of them have been injured in terms of different body parts. Others have been injured on their legs, their hands, and some of them also have seen victims who have also nursing bullet wounds on their heads. And we have been camping here to be able to see what will be happening in the course of the day, those who are coming in, and also to be able to get the numbers of those who have been injured. So far, as per the statement that has been issued a few minutes ago by the Kenyatta National Hospital Communication Department, they have said they have received so far 45 victims and they're still receiving others, so that is not the end number, but they are still waiting to be able to capture the total number of details at the end of the day. But as per my own observation, by the time that they were saying they had 45 injured victims, so far we have received more than those, and now the number is going much higher. I can say maybe most probably between 80 and 100. And we have seen some of the ambulances that are arriving here with more than 2 or 3 victims in them. Those ones that you're seeing on your screen, those are the parents, family, and friends of those who have been informed. Maybe their relatives or even people close to them have been brought here. Because I've spoken to some of the families, they're saying they have only received calls from the Kenyatta National Hospital being told that maybe their family members or even friends have been brought here. So that's why they're camping here, to be able to see what will happen next, and also to be given a chance to get in there in the wards and to have a word maybe with their friends. But some of them who have been brought in here, they are critically injured. Many of them have been taken to, we are being told by the nurses and the doctors who have spoken to ICU because of the bullet wounds, and those ones who have not been highly injured are also being treated in different places, because the hospital, as per now, the accident and emergency wards are full. That's why they have been trying to find other places to be able to find shelter for those ones who are still being brought in. We have seen different medics, different ambulances, different organizations trying to bring in those victims without considering where they were found or even if they have their relatives nearby. And the number has been increasing since we came here in the course of the day. But as per the statement that was issued by KNH, they said the number of victims we came here in the course of the day. But as per the statement that was issued by KNH, they said the number of victims is actually 45, those ones injured, but this is because they started to receive the victims from 12 noon, and the number that they gave us, that was the total number that they had received by 3 p.m. And then definitely is clear. You can see from 3 p.m. up to now, the number is a little bit higher. I've also witnessed more than 30 or 40 ambulances coming here, and many of them are not carrying one individual or two, but some are carrying even up to higher, up to more than 100 by the end of the day. But the hospital has said it requires more time because it's an emergency crisis, to be able to gather more details. He said out of the 45 that they had received, 8 were female, which means the rest, which is the majority, were men. And you can definitely see that most of the victims who are being brought here, they're young people, and most of them are most probably the Gen Zs who are being involved today in the protest. We have spoken to some of the parents, to some of the families, and they have said most probably they are young people left early in the morning. Some said they went to just do their normal businesses in town, but the parents in the course of the day received calls from the hospital here being told to come and be able to come here so that they can be able to have a word with the hospital because their friends or their children or their brothers and sisters have been brought here under injuries. And I spoke to some of the protesters. They said they were peaceful. Some of them. They were saying they were on. Was shot and he's saying that the son is deadly. He was called later to be told that his son was injured during those protests, but the son had informed close people to him before he died that he
Mimi kama Gen Z sijabambika na vitu zenye gava inafanya hapo hivi nje. Tumetoka tukienda peaceful demonstration kufika pale hivyo sijini African Saints Cathedral. Hapo kando Europa wanataka kuja kutufinya. Sijui wanataka aje. Wanapiga live, wanapiga raba na wanapiga bado nini tear gas kwa mguu za watu. Sijui wanataka aje. Mimi ndio hii raba bullet wamenipigia kwa mguu. Ni kupoteza mguu pia mimi. Saa hizi ndio hizi ambulance zinaingia hapa sasa.
That were given by the hospital by 3 p.m. and from that time up to now the number of ambulances that have been coming here has been very high, so definitely the numbers have risen. We are not aware the actual number, but I can approximate most probably more than 100 injured victims have been brought here. Now, as you can see on your screen, there's no any ambulance yet here because at some point we are seeing the number of the ambulances reducing. Then after a few minutes, then you see the high number of ambulances still coming in to bring more victims from all the corners of the city. We have been able also to speak to some of the family members within here who have been able to tell us what happened. They have told us most of them they got calls from KNH, the hospital, informing them that their relatives had been brought in here. Let me speak to some of them. Tuanze na jina lako, unaitwa nani?
Jina langu naitwa Edward Ochieng.
Mbona umefika hapa?
Nimefika na kuja na mgonjwa hapa kutoka sehemu za Homa Bay.
Wewe umeleta mgonjwa wa maandamano ama si wa maandamano? Sasa tunataka wale wa maandamano. Nani ambaye labda amekuja kumuona mgonjwa wake ambaye labda ameathirika na maandamano? Some of them are wary of speaking to us, but Nani hapa na mgonjwa ambaye ameletwa kutokana na maandamano? Tuzungumze naye. Dada, unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Diana.
Mbona umefika hapa? Tufahamishe kwa kifupi.
Nimekuja hapa, kuna rafiki yangu amepata accident, amekuwa tao kwa maandamano na ameshutiwa. So tumekuja hapa, nataka kumuona.
Labda umefahamu vipi amepigwa risasi?
Niliambiwa, nimepigiwa simu ndo nikakuja hapa. So nataka kumuona, nataka kujua venye hali yake iko, nijue venye yako tu.
Labda mmeweza kumuona, kwa sababu tumeambiwa kwamba wengi hawajaweza kupata nafasi ya kuona wapendwa wao.
Bado sijamuona bado.
Naambiwa sababu ni nini?
Wamesema bado wako kwa emergency, lazima ongoje wahudumie kwanza ndio tunaweza kuona baadaye.
Bingo, unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Fredo Nyango. So nimeleta rafiki yangu amepigwa risasi, bati ya mguu imemkata katikati, but nimeona nikamuona ako sawa, but ako tu sawa. Alipigwa pale parliament.
Alikuwa kwa andamanaji?
Alikuwa anaandamana. Akaingia ndani, sasa afuta kufungua hizo mlango, hizo fence, akaingia ndani. So
ndani ya bunge?
Ndani ya bunge ndani. So wakatoka na mabunduki wakaanza kuwashoot live bullets. So yeye akapigwa canister hapa kando, akapigwa kwa thigh, na akapigwa tena bunduki ya mguu katikati. Toes zote mbili zimepasuka.
Umepewa nafasi ya kumuona?
Nimemuona, nimekuwa naye huko ndani na nimeacha kitibiwa.
Kwa hivyo wanapokea matibabu kule ndani?
Anapokea matibabu.
So you can hear from friends and family members to the victims that some of them have been given a chance to be able to see their loved ones who are still recuperating inside here at the emergency and accident department at KNH. And many of them, as those ones who have spoken on TV, you have heard definitely the injuries were to do with bullet wounds, and because most of them were demonstrators, we are yet to find out if there are any other person who had been injured who is not a demonstrator, maybe police officers. But from the hospital, what they said, they had only received 45 victims of the protest or the injuries during the protest. 8 were female, and that was the statement they gave to us at 3 p.m. But we're still waiting to see if the hospital will be able to update the data, and also apart from that, also if the number will increase, because definitely there is high number of the people who have been injured during today's protest, and they are still coming in here at the Kenyatta National Hospital Accident and Emergency Department. I want to see if I can be able to speak to some of the medics and hear if they have a word. Sister, ujambo? Labda unaweza zungumza na sisi utuambie mmepokea. She has said she's not comfortable to speak with us, but you can speak to some of them. Ndugu, unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Joseph. Yes.
Naona wewe ni tabibu hapa, labda siku imekuwaje? Tumeona wagonjwa ni wengi wakifika hapo waliojeruhiwa.
Ndio wamejeruhiwa, lakini sasa hatuna uwezo wa kujua idadi kamili ni wangapi. Watatolewa baadaye ndio tujue idadi kamili ni ngapi, lakini wameletwa kwa wengi.
Wale wanaofika wanapokea matibabu.
Ni kweli wamejeruhiwa.
Wale majeruhi wanaoletwa ni wengi. Labda changamoto ambazo mnapitia, labda kule ndani kumejaa, kuna nafasi ya kutosha kuwahudumia?
Hiyo sitaweza kuelezea kabili, kwa sababu mimi si katika hiyo kitengo ya kujua kwamba ni wangapi wanafaa ni rooms zinafaa kushughulikia ni ngapi. Siko katika hiyo kitengo.
Sawa. So that is one of the medics who has been handling those victims who have been brought in, especially across the city, those ones who have been injured during today's anti-finance bill protest. And you can also see that a lot of medics have been brought in from even other hospitals to be able to help Kenyatta National Hospital to cater in regard to the high number of victims. So those ones that you are seeing, some of them have been brought in from other hospitals to be able to help those ones who have been injured. And also to highlight, many of the victims are also coming from All Saints Cathedral, where the hospital, the church had given space to medics who are offering free services to those injured. And also there's another free medical point I hear within the town, I think at Jamia Mosque. So many of the victims are also coming from those 2 points, because those are the nearest point to the city and the first point where where the victims are being taken is All Saints and that place in Jamia. And if the doctors there are feeling that they can be able not to handle those cases, then they are sending them here at the Kenyatta National Hospital. In terms of number of those ones maybe who have died, I cannot be able to tell that, because the hospital, as we spoke to those in charge of the hospital, they said by that we'll still be following up to see what will happen and see what will happen in the course of the day. Olive, I'll be able to give more updates as this continues to unfold here at the Kenyatta National Hospital Accident and Emergency Department.
Thank you.
Was injured. Is soft tissue injuries. Others were injured in different places. But it's really sad to see these kinds of injuries, because this procession and this protest was largely peaceful. And we didn't expect that, these kinds of fatalities would be reported, these kinds of injuries would be happening. We are very saddened, and we want to inform the state that Kenya has moved many years from those dark days, and we are not in a police state. Yes. And the police should not use excessive force on peaceful, youthful protesters. We will work with the necessary institutions, we will work with the necessary authorities to make sure those that have been killed, those that have been injured, they get justice. We cannot allow, any use of excessive force like this. And we are committed to ensure that the message gets through, that the government listens to the people. Kenya is a country that is governed by a rule of law. Yes. And police cannot use excessive force on peaceful protesters like this. Over 100 people have been treated here. Yes. We cannot have such kind of a situation. And we will stand firmly with those that are injured. We'll stand firmly with those that have been killed and make sure that they get justice.
Taxes must fall.
Yes, of course, this will not deter us from delivering the message. And the message is very clear. Reject finance bill. Why are we being forced to accept this? You cannot force this bill on Kenyans' throats. Why is the message not getting through to these people? Yeah, 204 people against 54 million. Does that even make sense? So we are saying enough is enough. Listen to the masses. Listen to the people. Yes. Come down from your high seat and listen to the voices. You can't say you want to dialogue, then you are killing people. How is that dialogue when you're shooting live bullets at peaceful protesters? That is not right. That is unacceptable. Yes. We are living in a country governed by a constitution and the rule of law. Yes. Kwa nini munatumia live bullets against people? Yes. Why are you doing that? So this is unacceptable. Na tumesema enough is enough. Yes. And we must listen to the voices of the people. Yes. Well, right now we've informed IPOA. We, of course, are waiting for the next of kin to be informed. We can't just come in. Lazima tutafute familia za wale wameuliwa, waelezewe kwanza. We must respect that. After that, of course, just as we've done with Rex, just as we are doing with Evans, we'll proceed to the post-mortem and then immediately make sure those officers who are involved are removed from the service, investigations zifanywe, and after that, washikwe, wafunguliwe mashtaka na wafungwe korokoroni.
Out of the 125 casualties, how many have been informed are suffering from gunshot?
Well, they can't count, but they told us definitely some of those wounds are as a result of shooting. We have quite a number that probably is soft tissue, but they said that out of the 125 or so, a good number, they said a good number, I can't tell the number, but they said a good number are gunshot wounds victims.
So we currently have over 100 people at Jamia Mosque. So those are casualties that have not been reported. Currently we have people that are in Jamia Mosque. We have a Red Cross team ambao bado hawajafika hapa. Kwa hivyo namba ambazo Hussein Khalid amesema ni tofauti, ni wale ambao wako hapa Kenyatta National Hospital, lakini kuna wale ambao bado mpaka sasa hivi tunaweza kucollect. Lakini data itaweza kupotekana labda kesho ama kesho kutwa, lakini tunaomba sisi sote wale ambao wako saizi town, tafadhali turudi nyumbani, manake tulikuwa tushaamua ni kuanzia saa 6 mpaka saa ngapi? Saa 11. Kwa hivyo tungewaomba wale saa 12 naarifiwa hivyo. Kwa wale Gen Z na wale ambao wamekuwa na sisi, tafadhali turudi nyumbani, tujipange na tuangalie vipi tutakavyoenda, si ndio?
Yeah, we are appealing to the protesters, please, wherever you are, if you're listening, the time imefika. please, let's end this now. Make sure you reach home when there is still daylight. Don't give them an excuse, because we know last time wale waliuliwa ilikuwa ni usiku, and this is the time when they send out goons to break into shops, to destroy property, and then they use that to kill more of our youth. So we are appealing to everyone who is out there right now. The message has been delivered. We've occupied parliament. Kila mtu amesikia message. Zakayo ashuke, reject finance bill. Please, please and please, right now, let's make our way home peacefully, and we leave to protest another day. Thank you very much.
Down, down, finance bill.
Down, down, finance bill.
Zakayo ashuke.
Hiyo ndio vita sasa.
Alafu msonge mbele. Msonge mbele hapo tutafunza.
Leo wameagua.
hiyo.
Mambo ni mangapi? Akuje pale, akae pale, venye ikomba kura, akuje tusikize. Sisi hatuna chama, hatuna ukabila, ama nini kama hiyo.